Once their time on Earth is complete, souls return to their place of origin. Scientist Stafford delves into the remarkable accounts of deceased individuals who share their experiences of another world. According to Professor Stafford, traditional concepts of the afterlife have long since lost their relevance. He contends that the other world is far from a dreamy realm where souls float effortlessly in the clouds, strumming harps. Instead, he describes it as a place filled with seas, houses, cities, and landscapes that closely resemble our own world. In his book, Discovering Life Beyond the Line, Betty meticulously examines the most reliable and convincing communications with the inhabitants of this other world, which were received through automatic writing. The picture of existence that emerges from these communications, according to Betty, is one that fills us with hope, optimism, and a sense of security about the future. His book presents 9 stories about what lies beyond our lives. Today, we'll explore 2 of those stories. The first account of life after death comes from a soldier named Raymond, who lost his life in 1915. His father, Oliver Lodge, was a well-respected scientist known for his significant contributions to radio communications and held in high regard within the scientific community. Shortly before his son's untimely death, Lodge began exploring phenomena that defied explanation, such as telepathy and contact with the afterlife. Many of his peers found these studies peculiar, but Lodge's towering reputation shielded him from widespread criticism. The loss of his son devastated Lodge, yet the belief that his son continued to exist in another realm provided him with some solace. This conviction fueled Lodge's determination to prove the immortality of the human soul. It was during this period that Oliver Lodge crossed paths with Catherine Kennedy, a woman who, after losing her son Paul several years earlier, discovered within herself the ability to engage in automatic writing. Catherine believed she had uncovered a means of communicating with her son. Although Lodge harbored doubts about her sincerity, he approached her in the hopes of receiving some message from his own son. Remarkably, he succeeded. In his book, Lodge emphasizes that the information conveyed in Raymond's messages was unknown to Catherine beforehand. Some of the details were even unknown to Lodge himself. For instance, Raymond spoke of an army comrade named Mitchell, a story that Lodge later verified. Astonishingly, Raymond had indeed encountered Mitchell before his death. While this detail may seem minor, it serves as compelling evidence of the authenticity of Raymond's communications. Betty also references additional corroborating details. For example, Raymond correctly named all his brothers, mentioned when he was born, and recalled his favorite foods, songs, and so on. Although these details held personal significance primarily for Oliver Lodge, they are of interest to readers as well, especially Raymond's vivid description of the world he now inhabits. According to Raymond, the afterlife consists of different levels that correspond to each soul's spiritual development. He currently resides on the 3rd level. Every inhabitant has the chance to grow, both spiritually and intellectually, advancing to higher levels through their own efforts and determination. Raymond also notes that, in this realm, time doesn't exist as we understand it, and space operates differently than it does on Earth. He asserts that everyone in this world enjoys perfect health. There are no elderly individuals, no blind people, and no one suffers from physical ailments. Any health issues or lost body parts from earthly life are fully restored, leaving all inhabitants whole. In this world, there are no language barriers, as communication occurs telepathically. Raymond's messages convey that after death, we simply return to where we came from, and our position in that world is determined by our actions in our earthly lives. Status or wealth holds no value in the world we enter. Only the state of the soul matters. What the soul was on earth is what it will be when it enters the spiritual realm, the scientist explains. Leslie's letters. The second captivating story in Betty's book concerns Leslie Stringfellow, who died at the age of 20 due to illness. His father was a horticulturist, and his mother, Alice, was a skilled pianist. After the heartbreaking loss of their only son, his parents were consumed by deep grief. Later on, Alice found a way to reconnect with Leslie through the practice of automatic writing. This unconventional form of communication offered her a glimmer of hope to reach out to her dearly missed son and seek answers to the many questions she had. Alice would frequently sit down with pen and paper, hoping that Leslie could send her messages from the other side. For a long time, though, nothing happened. It wasn't until Leslie's father joined the sessions that the messages finally started to come through. This form of communication continued for 15 years. We might never have learned about this other world if not for Alice's fortuitous encounter with the renowned writer Arthur Conan Doyle. It was Doyle who encouraged her to publish the remarkable messages she had received. Heeding his advice, Alice published the book Leslie's Letters, although it was only released in a limited print run. One of the most astonishing aspects of these messages is Leslie's depiction of the geographical location of the world he found himself in, relative to our own planet. According to Leslie, this other world exists very close to ours, yet resides in a parallel dimension. This world begins just beyond Earth's reach, encircling it on all sides and stretching into infinity. Leslie realized that during his earthly life, he had not fully grasped the importance of selfless service. Helping others and gaining knowledge leads to spiritual progress in the other world, and the driving force behind this progress is love. He asserted that there is no greater joy than aiding others. If this idea were to take hold on Earth, our planet would truly become a paradise, Stafford Betty highlighted. The other world is structured in spheres. Leslie informed his parents that he currently resides on the second sphere. In the higher spheres, where he cannot yet ascend, reside more spiritually advanced souls. These souls visit the lower spheres as teachers. Advancement to the higher spheres is possible only through one's own efforts and acquired wisdom. Leslie expressed that he has no desire to move to a higher level just yet, as he is content with where he is. Much like in life, he continues to play music and travel, powered by his thoughts. However, not all of his travels bring him joy. From Leslie's messages, his parents learned that there are also regions in the other world inhabited by undeveloped souls. The beings in this realm dwell in a gloomy environment shrouded in a dense fog. Any soul can descend to this realm to inspire its inhabitants to pursue a purer, more elevated life. Share your thoughts in the comments about Stafford Betty's words and whether you believe in life after death. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on any future content. Thank you all for your feedback.